Hello, fellow teachers. Mrs. Talk Techie here, and I wanted to share with you my assignment tracker that I use during virtual learning, or it can be used for face-to-face as well. I tailored it, customized it using a Google Sheets template that was already pre-made, and it actually is an attendance template. But I liked the organization and the structure of it so much that I just figured why not just kind of customize a couple of those things in there. And that's what I've been using, and it's been working great for me. So what I'm going to do in this video tutorial is not necessarily show you how to create one, but I am giving you that template already. You can find it in the description of this video. It'll have a link. You click on that link and it's going to ask you, it's going to open up a new tab and it's going to say use template. Once you click on that, it's going to automatically add it to your Google Drive. And so now it belongs to you. So I just want to walk you through really quick where you find those actual templates. So if I'm in my Google Drive, I'm going to right click and I'm going to click on Google Sheets. But instead of clicking on that, if you go to the little arrow here, you'll have blank spreadsheet or from a template. So if you click on from a template, you're actually going to get all of these options, these pre-made templates that Google has curated for everyone. You know, it's from budgets to travel planners, schedules, purchase orders. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's like an education category. And there you have attendance, gradebook, and assignment tracker. Now, this assignment tracker is not the one I'm using. I actually used the attendance one and then just customized it because I love the structure of this one. So let's go to that assignment tracker, and this is what you'll receive. And of course, you can always further customize it so that it fits your instructional needs. But basically, what I want to do next is just kind of walk you through if you are editing, what are some tips and tricks and little hacks that will help you be more efficient when it comes to using this resource. So first of all, let's take a look at what this template entails. On this left-hand side, you have student name. So you'd literally delete this and the ID number. Do you have to use an ID number? You don't. But in my case, I teach middle school, and I have had several kids within one school year with the same exact name. So ID numbers are a must for me. The other thing is you also have these numbers here. So let's say that class has 25 kiddos. If you have more than 25, all you have to do is click on the number the furthest to the left, right click, and insert row, below, above, whatever. And all the formatting features are still going to stay there. For example, if I go here and I want to add another class, I'm going to insert above, and notice I have it here. I'll just switch over the numbers, but the checkboxes are still going to be there. So I love that. So how do the checkboxes work? You basically just click on them just like that, and that's how they work. So you're going to have all your assignments up here. You're going to name your assignments here. I just put like assignment 1, but you can rename it. And then you can add the date here. These say September because the template, that's how it originally came. What you want to do is you want to change that up. Notice they all start with the year 2000. So instead of you clicking through these to try to get to 2020, just go ahead and on there, change that up to 2020. And then of course, once you do that, then you can find that month, you know. So if we're November 29th, there it is. And of course, today is Sunday. But that's how it'll work. Notice the other thing I want to show you, these are just going to be tips, tricks, and hacks to help you customize and use this resource for your instruction. So another thing I like to use is if you're doing every single day assignments, you can easily just grab that little square and drag it, and it will autofill the rest. And they'll match. So November 30th is a Monday. So just keep that in mind. You can easily do that as well. If you don't want the days of the week, you can actually just delete this entire row as well. So what else does this include? The other thing that I love about it is if student number 1 has, let's say, missing assignments, I will be able to see that out of the 12 assignments, this person has completed 5 because I've added that formula on there. So if you're going to add another assignment and you're thinking, oh my God, am I going to have to redo the formulas? No, all you do is right click on the top and then insert to the right. And now you have it, and the checkboxes are included as well. And here you just start typing the next assignment. And there you have it. And of course, same thing. You don't have to go and add the date, just drag it over and you get that date there and you get the day of the week as well. You can obviously delete some of these assignments as well. And then down here, I'm not sure why it comes out that little red triangle. Honestly, I haven't even tried to kind of research to see why that's coming up, but it still works. So for example, all these have been clicked, right, checked off for assignment 1. And down here, it lets me know 6 out of, let's say, my 20 kids have completed that assignment. So that's just another extra little feature that I added there that I like to keep track on, especially because I am doing remote learning. So it allows me to gauge whether or not certain activities are the kids are able to accomplish them. You know, are they having difficulty? And this will let me know. If I see that there's a high participation in Google Forms versus a Google Slides document, that lets me know, hey, they're struggling with that specific type of assignment. So another little helpful hint is, let's say you clicked on all these and they were the wrong ones. You can actually select them just like this. And if you click on the space bar, it will deselect, or click on them again and it'll select them all. So that saved me a lot of time, especially if you want to give like a participation grade or something like this and you want to select them all. You just highlight them all, click on that, and notice now I've got 25 kiddos who have completed that assignment. The last thing I want to mention here, teachers, is that depending on what grade level you're teaching, if you're in an elementary, then you probably only have one class, I'm assuming, right? I shouldn't, but I'm assuming. I teach the middle school level, I actually teach 4 classes. So this is where you have to ask yourself, how do you want to continue managing this resource? So one thing I would recommend, if you just have one class, I would recommend, of course, you'd name this class your regular class, right? And then after you complete just the names, I would then recommend going down here to the tab and then either renaming it. Are you going to be keeping these as 6 weeks? I put first 6 weeks here. It's totally up to you. You can make it a running record. You can do it by semesters. You can do it weekly. It's just totally and completely up to you. But what I would recommend is, if you are going to be making multiple ones, maybe by 6 weeks, you can always make a copy of it. So duplicate. And once you duplicate it, notice everything is going to follow. So all my check marks, all of that is going to follow. Now, it's not a big deal if you just go ahead and select it all and then click on that and it deselects everything and you just start renaming them. It's up to you, but you can go first 6 weeks, second 6 weeks, third 6 weeks, totally and completely up to you. So one thing I'd recommend, if you're going to be doing these by 6 weeks, and if you give progress report grades, you can add a little column here. Insert maybe to the left, to the right, depending. And then I would go to my paint fill and do it all black right there. And then just keep them like that. And that'll be my little, that'll be my marker that lets me know all these assignments are for progress report. And then the ones after that will be for the actual, to complete the 6 weeks. What about if you teach multiple classes? Well, this is totally and completely up to you. You can have a spreadsheet for every class period, and within that, so let's say this is second period, first 6 weeks, second 6 weeks, third 6 weeks, so on and so forth. Or you can have, it just depends on what works best for you. You can have first 6 weeks as your title, right? And then the tabs are second period, third period, fourth period, fifth period, or depending on how many class periods you have. And then you create a new assignment tracker for second 6 weeks. Second period, third period, fourth period, fifth period. That's going to facilitate from going like opening one spreadsheet constantly versus just having one for that 6 weeks. I have 4 for my 4 different class periods. I just like to keep things separate like that. So that basically wraps it up. I didn't want to spend hours trying to show you how to create these if it was already pre-made. This template was basically set there. All I did was add these checkboxes. And if you're wondering, well, how do I access those checkboxes? All you do, for instance, let's say I want to add checkboxes to these right here. You just select where you want them, insert, right here, checkbox, and there you have it. And they're there. So it's really that simple. And of course, the formula right here, you can always find what the formula is. If you select it, here's the formula I used. If you would like further clarification, then I'd be happy to do one of these from scratch that explains the formulas and the checkboxes. But other than that, once you get this, teachers, you can customize it however you want. You can add colors. Like one thing I like to do is, for example, let's say my assignment 1 was a Google Slides document, right? An assignment that I gave them through Google Slides. I can select that assignment and I can go to the paint fill and click on maybe like yellow, and that lets me know, oh, that was a Google Slide. Just kind of like a quick way to know, okay, they're completing all my Google Slides assignments. Or you can use, if it's a Google Sheets assignment, green. If it's a Google form, you can use like a light purple color. But really, that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. I hope you guys do find it useful. Remember that if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe. And of course, hit that bell. Once you click on that bell, that means that every time I upload new content, you're going to get notified. You're going to get a little notification that says Mrs. Talk Techie uploaded this, new resource. So, and every time I do tutorials, I always provide these resources free because we are all in this together. I'm here to help as much as I can with as much as I know. But of course, guys, if you leave a comment, give me a like. I really do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys later.